All right, so um I just had this thought in my head for like the last couple of days. I don't even know how to start this video. Obviously, I'm starting it now, but yeah, I recently saw a video that The Truth made about basically how if you're not liking a mobile game, whatever game, to just take breaks. And I definitely agree with that a lot because, like, obviously, as you guys know, back in the day, well, maybe you guys know, back in the day, I used to do skits on Unison League, and you know, it was fun for a really long time. Like, I made the first one, I didn't think it was gonna do numbers. It did numbers, and that was one of the main reasons why I did those for so long. Because every time I would do them, they would do numbers, until eventually I was just like, dude, like having to think. I think I said this in like a video a long time ago, but having to basically think of skits and somewhat writing down the idea of them like daily was probably the worst thing ever because I was the one doing them. So normally what I would do, I would give you guys a rundown of the way this would work. So I would wake up, do whatever I would have to do, and then I would in the afternoon I would probably sit down and be like, all right, what is the skit that I'm gonna do today? And then I would either write down a script or I would just go in freestyling it as I did with a lot of stuff. And I would normally, because I'm not gonna lie, editing the skits was not hard. Like it wasn't. Hell, editing my videos are not hard, but just the idea of not the idea, but like having to think of what I wanted to do in that skit was probably the hardest part about it, and doing it somewhat daily because there was a time where I would make these daily, but then eventually it was just like, dude, like I just got burnt out from it. And then I made a video talking about that like forever ago, and then I took a break. I think for like a week. I came back, felt a little bit better, kept on doing it until I think one day I was just like, bro, I'm not gonna do this no more because like it was fun for a little bit, but then like they just didn't. I don't even know. I just think one day I was like, bro, I'm not gonna do this no more. Like it was fun for like the first couple of months, but then just doing that cycle over and over and over and over and over was just like, all right, I'm losing my mind, and I'm just gonna stop this entirely. And honestly, that in itself was one of the reasons why I like stopped playing UL as much as I did before. Because before I made that skit video, I would play it like I would play UL a lot. Like I would play the game so much, but then after, it didn't become my job per se because like YouTube is not my job, but like when it became something I would do for views, it's like, all right, I'm more and more losing fun playing this because instead of me playing the game for fun, I'm playing it basically being like, okay, all right, so what can I do next with this next video I want to make? So after a while, it just became tiresome, and it's like, all right, like it kind of ruined it for me. I'm not gonna lie, and this is just me doing this somewhat for fun. Like I wasn't really making money off of this, and I'm not now, and that's not the reason why I do this, right? Not the reason. I just do it because I just do it because because again, I really can't explain it, but yeah, guys, this is gonna sound so fucking bad. This is gonna sound so bad, but so yeah, just Truth making that video just made me think because going back to the main thing of that theme of the video, you saw about Dokkan Battle, and I definitely do agree because this year in the big 2025, I have been wanting to play Dokkan less and less as like this year has gone on because like obviously start of the year I was playing this game a lot because I think that's when we got like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Super Saiyan 4 one, the 8. Yeah, man. I don't even want to say that. When we got the LR one. And, it was pretty cool because his animations were amazing. They still are, by the way. Like, he hit hard. And then I think after that was over, it's just, I don't even remember what came out after him. Wasn't it like Gohan, Trunks, and Goten? I don't remember. But it was just after that, it was just like, all right, man, like I'm hitting rock bottom to where I genuinely do not want to like summon for these characters, even though whenever I do play Dokkan, I don't go crazy. I don't spend money on it because like I just don't. But it was just like I got Gogeta very easily. I felt content. And yeah, after that, I'm just like, dude, I want to stop playing the game so bad. But I know if I stop playing for however long, they're going to release something that I'm going to want to summon for. And I'm going to come back to the game. So basically, there's really no point in me uninstalling. And also, I gotta link level these characters. Like, I gotta do red zone. I gotta do all this other stuff. And I was in a loop for so long. But then earlier this year, I don't remember what it was, but one day I just said, you know what? You know what, man? I really don't care. I don't care what they release. After whatever is going on, I'm taking a break. Because I think I just needed one because I just felt so burnt out. And like, I've been not playing the game ever since, like I said, I think it was after the demo celebration with Gogeta and Omega Shenron. And I think in the middle of like the Gohan and Goten thing, I uninstalled because I'm like, man, these characters are cool. You know, the animations are really good, but it's just like, I just feel so burnt out of just basically doing the same thing over and over and over again. And Truth also said that basically, if you're not, well, Truth didn't say this, but I'm gonna say this. You know, no one's ever gonna see this video, but you know, basically, if you just make, like, especially, all right, I got way too many things I want to say. All right, hold on, one at a time. So I'm gonna say, like, basically, it's fine to take breaks from whatever game, mobile game, whatever you're doing. It's fine to take breaks from it, because if you don't take breaks, if you don't do things in, what's it called, like succession? No, that's not the word. Like, basically, if you do a lot, if you do if you do like the same thing over and over again, you're gonna get burnt out from it, no matter what it is. So it's fine to take breaks from whatever it is. If you're making content, it's fine to take breaks, unless it's like your job and you're making money off of it. Then it gets a little tricky, because obviously that's your livelihood. So with that, I still think it's fine, even though it might like mess up your money. So I definitely do get why a lot of people say that, like, basically, if you're a content creator, to not take breaks, because if you miss a single week of uploading, you know, your views might go down or whatever. This is coming from me, okay, this is coming from a fucking nobody, but I've heard a lot of bigger YouTubers say this. I don't know if it's true or not. For context, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard a lot of people say that. I definitely do get it, but at the same time, I do think that it is important to do this for your own mental, because once again, me, going back to me, like, having to do those skits every day, I was losing my goddamn mind. And it just felt so awful, because it's like, dude, I'm doing all this just for the thrill of the kill. And of course, nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with making videos for fun, but I think at a certain point, you just gotta, like, just look back and be like, you know what, man, I'm taking like a couple days off, a week, whatever. You know, I have respect for so many people who like daily upload for like a very long time. Like, back when Rhyme Style would upload every day, like, it's like, how do you do this? And obviously, you know, Rhyme would probably record, like, I think he explained how he did this, but I think it was something to where it was like, he would record, he would go to work. Now, before he would go to work, he would make a video, go to work, post that one, do another one, and then post it like a few hours later. And I just think that's a lot. Because obviously with videos, you have to edit them and add in stuff. So it takes a lot of time to get a video out, depending on how you do it. But that just sounds very, very tiring. And I think Ryan even said that, like, dude, I was just so tired just like doing that. It's like, I'm doing all of this. And it's like, dude, I just... Ugh. And I can imagine I'd probably feel the same way too if I did that. But yeah. I definitely do think it's fine to take breaks. I'm going to keep on reiterating that, you know, it's fine to take breaks, do things in like rotation. I think that's the word I was looking for before. To do things in rotation, so you're not like just doing one thing every day, because you will lose your mind if you do that. And yeah, especially like if you're not making content on a game, it's fine to take breaks. Like, do you guys know how long my backlog for games I need to beat is? That thing is very long. If I like wrote a list, it would probably go very far. Like, I have so many games that I need to finish before I buy new ones, but either A, I just don't finish them, or I just have them in the back burner for so long and I have no idea when I'm going to finish them. And, you know, it's not good to like play the same game over and over, especially if you're not having fun. Another example I can think of, Dragon Ball Legends. I know, the two Dragon Ball games. Like, in the early days of Legends, I would play that game so much, but there'd be times to where, you know, a month wouldn't be that great, or like they would release a unit that I didn't get, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna take a break. You know, maybe they'll do like the welcome back campaign. I might come back depending on if it's something that I care about, but you know, I'm not taking a break from Legends right now because we're about to be in what's it called? Legends month. Wow, that's not what it's called. Basically, we're about to get a new unit that is probably going to be insane, and I'm not gonna lie, because I think people are theorizing that's going to be like a Super Saiyan 4 LF Gogeta and a Super Saiyan Gogeta LF. And as much as I love fusions, honestly, I might uninstall. Like I'm Legends Fest. That's what it's called. Like I'm already like on the fence about Legends from all the stuff that like they've done to the game. And whenever there's nothing hype or something that I don't care about, I'm out of there. Like I'm not gonna force myself to play something just to do it. Like, and Dragon Ball is like one of my favorite things ever, but at the same time, I'm not gonna force myself to have fun. I think that's the main thing right there. Like I hate having to play something to forcing myself to have fun with something that like I'm not enjoying. And you know, same thing with Dokkan. Like I love Dokkan. I love how the game has been so different from like 2015 to 2025. That game is two completely different games, but at the same time, if I'm not having fun, and like especially now because there's like a really bad power creep going on right now. So like the characters that came out earlier this year are now getting like thwacks by, that's not a word, being like destroyed by the new events going on. And I think that power creep is also making a lot of people not want to play the game, because it's like, okay, so cool. Like even right now, like they have Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and I came back to Dokkan to try to summon for him. I didn't get him, and so I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna bow out for right now because I haven't gotten them. I don't feel like grinding because I've essentially cleared all of the other stuff in the game. So basically, the only way I can possibly get Daima Goku is if either I spend money or I continue to play the same event, and if my rotation is not set up perfectly, I die in one hit. And me personally, I don't think that's fun to do. I don't think it's fun to basically have to pray that when you load up into an event, your rotations are set up, you know, you got everything right, and then maybe, just maybe, you might be able to survive one turn and then die the next turn. I don't think that's fun. I really don't think that's fun. And I think that's why, because I was looking on the Reddit for Dokkan, and a lot of people were saying the same thing. They're like, you know, Daima Goku is a really good unit. He's really good. It's cool that we finally have him in the game, but it's not going to matter because he's probably going to be power creeped out next month when they release whatever. Like, there's no point of summoning for characters if basically you can only use them for a month and then you can never use them again. And it's just like, dude, what's the point? Because then it's going to be a game of basically summoning for, and of course for Dokkan, this isn't like a player versus player type of game. Legends is, I'll get back to that in a second, but it's just like, I don't know. And I've had that thought with so many games because I play a lot of gacha games. As lame and cringe as that sounds, I play a lot of them, and a lot of them I just have on my phone just because I don't feel like deleting them. Like, perfect example, Arknights. I have taken so many breaks from Arknights, and I'm probably gonna uninstall after this video because Arknights is just on my phone just to be on there because I think I want to like progress the story, but I don't. Like, I'm like in the beginning stages of this game, and this game has been out for a really long time. And yeah, once again, I think if they made it for like for PC, I think I would want to play it more. But having to play it on my phone is just it's not really fun. But yeah, so I think it's just that I hate the idea of basically forcing oneself to have fun with the game instead of just you actually wanting to play the game because you're having fun, if that makes sense. Anyways, going back to Legends before I forget this point. So you know how I was saying with Dokkan, basically characters are getting power creeped out of the meta in a month. With Legends, honestly, I really don't know. I know this is gonna be a hot take. Get ready. I think them adding supporters into the game is probably one of the worst things they've ever done into the game. And mind you, there have been a lot of other bad things they've done with this game. Like the fact that now, you know, let's say you're I don't know, like a Vegeta fan or something. And, you know, you just want a really good Vegeta or whatever. The hell is this? You want like a good Vegeta or something. And, you know, you finally get one, but like you want to keep up with the meta. So you summon for all of the other characters, like the other, the broken characters. And then when your favorite character, Vegeta, whatever, whoever it is, comes out, and now you're broke because you've had to summon for like other characters to basically be able to clear, not even content, because like what content, but to like do well in PvP. And then basically, instead of you playing Legends because you want to play your favorite team, you're basically just playing the game so your team can be meta relevant. I don't understand. I genuinely hate what they've done with Legends, and it's just bad. It keeps on getting worse and worse, because when Legends first came out, there was like a power creep, sure, but it wasn't like as bad as it was now. And at least if there was a power creep, you were able to somewhat have currency to like summon for stuff. Now you really don't. If you're like a old player for Legends and you've cleared all the story and all the story events, that's it. That's basically either you gotta play PvP, which is not fun, because, you know, there are going to be people who are going to spend money to have 14-star units, all Z-equipped for their characters and all that other good shit. And that's basically it. You know, you can pray that there's like a raid that happens, but that's basically it. So either you have to spend money for the game, and I think that's an awful thing to have to do, or just don't play the game and just come back after like a month and then, you know, get your 3,000 Chrono Crystals and pray that whatever banner is out, that you get the character first try or whatever, so that way you can basically play the game for like a month and then leave for a month and then just repeat that cycle. I don't think that's fun. I really don't think it's fun. It just sucks, because Legends could have been something so good, because Legends is a really fun game when it's fun, but when they keep on making all these like dumb decisions, it just kills the game. Like, dude, like, there's a reason why a lot of people don't make content on Legends no more, because it's just not fun. And this is how it is. Like, even I'm gonna say this, because even with the latest Dragon Ball game, Genshin Squadra, that game can be something amazing, but it's just like they're handling things the wrong way. And what I mean by that is, so when I'm recording this video, we just got like the new characters for season 2. It's gonna be Broly, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and Ultimate Gohan. Very hype characters. You know, I love Vegeta. He's my favorite Dragon Ball character. Gohan's cool. Broly's cool. And, you know, it's cool that they're adding these characters. The only thing is, like, that sounds fun that they're adding these characters, but if you're not free to play, then it's kind of just like, you can't get these characters until I think it's like 2 seasons, to where I guess they're going to be added into like the star thingy in the game. So the only way to get these characters, like when they come out, instead of waiting for a long time to where they can possibly get nerfed and stuff, is to spend, I think it's like $7 for 250 crystals, or whatever currency they're calling it. And I just think that's a bad way to do that, because it's going to alienate a lot of people. Because, you know, what if you don't want to, what if you, like, let's say you love all 3 of those characters I just said, which I do. I love all 3 of those characters. So to get all 3 of them, you have to spend $24 to get all 3 of them. And that's just for this season. When they introduce the next season, either you can like save your gems from the battle pass, which is, sure, the battle pass could be better, especially for the premium one, or you have to spend another $24 for these characters. 21. What's 7 times 3? 21. Yeah, so $21. Like, that's not a lot of money, but having to do that every month alongside everything else, it can add up really quickly. Especially if you're playing other stuff too. Like, yeah, it can add up. And I really don't know why I don't know why Squadra is doing this. Because, like I said, it's going to drive away a lot of people. Because, like, what if you don't want to do that? What if you just want to hop in the game and basically, once Season 2 starts, basically just to play those characters without having to do that? I really don't get it. There's a way for them to fix it. Maybe I'll make a video on that, but I'll see this year, and then, like I said, if I make a video on this, I'll probably go into more detail. But they could do, like, the Pokemon Unite route to where sometimes when a Pokemon comes out, they have, like, a thing to where you can play the new Pokemon for, like, 3 days. They could do that. And then that way, at least you're able to be hands-on with that character, and then you can decide, basically, to be like, oh, okay, well, I like this character, and this is, like, you know, my lane or whatever, so I'll buy it. But instead of it just being like, hey guys, you guys see Ultimate Gohan? You know, he's cool. You know, he beat up Kid Buu. He was Himhan. Like, I know you guys want him. Like, dude, he's Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Everyone loves Vegeta when he's Super Saiyan 4. Like, dude, you know, Final Shine Attack. Broly. Everyone loves Broly. You know, when he, you know, did Broly stuff. Like, yeah, guys, that definitely buy him. Yeah, like, I don't know. I definitely do think they could do something like that, but like I said, that's a topic for another video. And honestly, I'm losing like my thoughts about this because I've said like a bunch of things. But going back to the main point of this whole thing, it's fine to take breaks from mobile games, from whatever it is, because like I said earlier, it's just important. You got to think about yourself because, like, you know, essentially with these games, they want you to continue to play these games so that way they can possibly get money from you or some other stuff. And, you know, if you're able to do that and not lose your mind, that's fine. Completely fine. But if you're at the point to where you're, like, dreading even looking at the icon of a game, because I've had so many times to where I would be like, man, dude, I really missed whatever game. And then I would, like, look it up, and I would see the icon. I'm like, oh my god, I forget about all the stuff I have to do, and I would not reinstall. And I don't think you should ever get to that point with anything in the world. That's like, you know, if you were, I don't know, if you're like, I don't have an example. I don't have an example, but I think you get what I mean. Basically, it should never get to the point to where you're dreading just looking at something to force yourself to do it. I think that's what I was trying to get across. But yeah, I did not think that Truth making that video about, you know, if you're not having fun with Dokkan would sprout this video. But, you know, I've been sitting on this idea for like a really long time, because with Dokkan, Legends, and a bunch of other games, it has been like, that has been my thought process for like a very long time. And I think me putting this out there is good for me. It's good for whoever sees this. And yeah, so the moral of the story, the too long didn't watch, it's fun to take breaks from mobile games or whatever you're doing in life. Totally fine. You know, it's probably gonna suck, especially if you oh my Porky Pig, especially if like you're taking a break from making content. But at the same time, though, it's better to do that and, you know, maybe lose out on some views than to drive yourself crazy by making content when you're not having fun. Because once again, I've been through this so many times, so where I was making content, I'm like, dude, I'm really not having fun. I'm just doing this just to do it, so that way I have something out before I forget and never upload it. So yeah, I think that's really all I wanted to talk about. So yeah, if you're ever feeling like you're dreading doing anything like playing a game or whatever, just don't. Just take a break. You might feel more energized when you come back from it. You might not. You know, you might want to come back to the game, or you might think, you know, I was playing this game for no reason. I don't even like this, and you might never come back to it. Or, you know, you might come back and, you know, it's been like a few months and everything has changed with the game, and you think, man, I'm so glad that I took a break when I did, because now, like, the game is different. I feel better about the game now, and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, With that out of the way, thank you for listening. And once again, moral of the story, it's fine to take breaks in everything in life. Okay? It's fine.